I'm Sarah. I graduated from Shepherd in 2018. I have my bachelor's in business. While I was at Shepherd, I was a part of Delta Sigma Pi, which is a business fraternity, and I was also a part of the accounting club. I helped with Relay for Life. I was into so many different things, and I absolutely loved my time at Shepherd. Right now, I'm actually in the culinary program at Blue Ridge. I'm in my first semester, and I'm absolutely loving it. I'm going to show you today my love of baking. Most of the time during the holidays, my mom and I bake like crazy. We make cookies, chocolate covered pretzels, all sorts of different cakes and breads. It's one of my favorite times of the year. My comfort spot is the kitchen, so obviously that's pretty evident. Today I'm going to show you how to make chocolate chip cookies, which is always a fan favorite and one of my favorites, to be honest. And they're so simple and so easy to make. So let's go ahead. In this bowl I have my flour, baking soda, and salt. In this bowl I have my shortening, vanilla extract, and my sugar. And you're going to cream your sugar and your shortening together. You can there's actually an option, you can either use butter or shortening, but my mom and I have tried many different recipes and I prefer the shortening. It leaves you with more of a flaky cookie. So you're going to combine your flour mixture with your creamed sugar and shortening, little bit by little bit, until the flour is completely incorporated. And then we will combine our chocolate chips into our mixture. And then I always like to use a cookie scoop or a ice cream scoop. It makes it a whole lot easier to put it out onto the pan. And I use a baking sheet with parchment paper. Parchment paper makes the cleanup so much easier, and it's easier to get the cookies off of the baking sheet. So let's go ahead and combine our flour mixture with our creamed butter and sugar. My mom and I have baked so many years, and one of my favorite things to do is to make cookies for other people. Very rarely do we keep any of the stuff that we bake. I have given cookies to teachers, co-workers, family, friends, even strangers. You name it, I have given baked goods to. My roommate, my senior year at Shepherd, probably fondly remembers me stress baking during finals week. Around the holidays time, she was my taste tester. She probably had a million different types of cookies and chocolate and bread and cake. I baked away, and I remember giving it to so many different people because I had cookies and cake coming out the wazoo. So our flour and our butters almost completely mixed together. So just a little bit more, and we can go ahead and add our chocolate chips. We're going to add a full bag of chocolate chips to our mixture. To be honest, you can use about any sort of chocolate chip. I use semi-sweet chocolate chips. That's your normal that you put in a chocolate chip cookie, but you can use any sort of chip that you would like, and this mixture is just a plain chocolate chip mixture. Alright, so our cookies are completely mixed together. So let's go ahead and add our chocolate chips to it. I have a full bag of semi-sweet chocolate chips. So I'm going to add it little bit by little bit because adding the whole thing at one time is a little too much to mix together. And you don't want to completely crush your chocolate chips while you're mixing all of this together. So there's part of it, and it does get a little hard to mix. Don't be alarmed, that's how it's supposed to be. But it smells incredible already, and we haven't even baked anything yet. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and add the rest of my bag of chocolate chips to the mixture. Alright, it's pretty well mixed together now. So I'm gonna go ahead and grab my baking sheet. Alright, so we have our cookies completely mixed and ready to go. I have my baking sheet with my parchment paper in front of me, and I have my cookie scoop. So make sure when you put your cookies on whatever baking sheet you're using, don't put them too close together or they'll end up in one gigantic cookie, which is not a bad thing. But if you're wanting to give them to other people, make sure you don't put them too close. So this one is pretty easy. Just do a full scoop. And down onto the tray it goes, and that's all you have to do. Sometimes I'll push down just a little bit to make sure it's completely formed. And all you're gonna do is put enough cookies on there, and then you will bake them for 8 to 10 minutes in your oven, which is set at 375. I now have my cookies on my baking sheet, so these are gonna go in the oven again for 8 to 10 minutes at 375. Our first batch of cookies is out of the oven and they have now cooled. So I'm going to show you a little bit on how I like to package my cookies, which it is all up to you on how you like to package. You can either go super simple or you can go extremely complicated. We'll start with the most simple, which is a Ziploc bag with a holiday design on the front of it. Both options, these and the treat bags, are very nice if you're giving them out to individual people. This way, no one else has their fingers on their cookies and it's easier to hand out. Most of the time, if I use these, I like to stick like a little note down in the inside of it, telling them happy holidays and how much you appreciate them, that sort of thing. Sometimes I'll also stick pre-packaged candy, such I love to use Hershey Kisses or candy bars, something like that to go with it. Your treat bags, which you can find anywhere, these normally will come with the zip ties to go with them, or you can use ribbon on the top of them. Again, it's easy to use if you're handing them out to individual people. That way people don't have their hands all over your cookies. Another option is a cookie platter, which you can either use cookies you made, or sometimes you can use prepackaged cookies. Say if you don't have the time or you're just not into baking, it's a nice way to show someone that you put a little bit of effort into it. So I suggest putting your cookies around the outside of the platter, and then on the inside you can either use a bowl or you could just stick them directly on the platter. Use a pre-packaged candy such as Hershey Kisses, chocolate bars, something like that. Just put that on the inside of it. So you also have the cookies, or you can use brownies or do slices of like pumpkin bread or something like that. But these are really easy and cheap to find. This one actually came from the Dollar Tree. So they also make bags to stick these down in, so you can stick your platter down in it, bring the bag up, and then put a little bow on it. That's easy for transport and also makes you look a little bit more put together. Another option is a reusable container, which is my go-to during the holiday season. This year I found these cute little jars. These actually came again from the Dollar Tree, one of my favorite places to get jars because they're cheap and they're also extremely cute. So as you can see, I already put our first batch of cookies in the jar. These I'll also stick ribbon around it and tie a cute little bow, just like I would with the treat bags. Another thing I also like to do is to attach some sort of either a card or maybe a pot holder if you know the person that you're giving it to likes to bake. When you're making cookies for the holiday season, I suggest staying away from any sort of cookie with peanut butter in it unless you know 100% no one is allergic to peanut butter, because that can cause a lot of issues because a lot of people are allergic to peanut butter. The Christmas season is my favorite time of the year. I just want to take a second to thank all of my family, my friends, my coworkers, everybody that I go to school with, everybody that I went to school with at Shepherd. Thank you. From the bottom of my heart, thank you. I would not be where I am today without you. I can't tell you how much I appreciate every single one of you and how much you have impacted my life. So again, thank you so much for even the little impact that you had on my life. Happy holidays, guys, and thank you so much.